Hey guys, welcome to another Alchemy Stars video, and today I just wanted to recap basically over the year of Alchemy Stars for 2022, and Happy New Year's to you guys. I guess for those who are still waiting, and for those who New Year's already happened, I guess for half the world, and, you know. So I remember when the Alchemy Stars first started on the I guess this year though, we got the release of Kobayashi's main event though. All in all, the main event was fine. There's nothing like grandiose about it and stuff like that. There was I guess, a lot of hype about the event itself though. I can't say like itself, because there was a lot of advertisement for the thing though. And when the event actually came out, and we got the list of everything, everyone was still pretty hyped about it and stuff like that. But the units themselves, I kind of got outplaced, I guess. There's Nobody actually uses them as like a main team besides Nicola, which is like the only one unit that stands out because of her defense buff, debuff though. Her was okay. Kanan's kind of like exists. Elma's not even usable. Fenrir was the welfare thing, so like nobody ever uses him. So it was kind of a mixed bag because it was this I guess a laundry or token event. I don't know what the terminology is for. You just collect the tokens and you just trade it in there for like rewards and stuff through a lottery system. And once you get it, that's pretty much it for 1 through 5. There's a small introduction for the story, and pretty much that was about it. And then there was a late one, and the next event after that was the maid event, or the maiden event, the one where we went underground, and and I don't want to spoil anything, but we finally figure out what the Alchemy Stars is. It's yeah, I shouldn't say that, like, it'll probably be in the rerun, so they actually told us what the Alchemy Star is. And then we had part 2. Then you had the units, Shioban, Ruby, Florine, a bunch of the other things. Then after that was the Scarlet event. Pretty much the same thing, story driven, heavily story driven. My only complaint was that about that one was the one about like where I guess it was the story to gameplay ratio is the big issue I had with that one, which was like the story itself was pretty much like 15 to 20 minutes of story, then like 2 minutes of gameplay, then another 15 to 20 minutes story. Then it kept us alternating like that. I was like, why? But the system itself is just like another story collection thing, and they did like a little mapping thing where like instead of like I guess stories, you collect things, then you go rebuild like a portion of the town for the second part and all this other gas or whatever you want to call it though. But yeah, that was the event in a nutshell. Then I think pretty much after that we had part 2 of the thing, which is more or less the same going forward, and vice versa. And all in all, it was fine for what it is. And then after that we had the racing event, I guess you could say. This is a quick recap. We had like I think it was the Gold Race one. Yeah, that was the Gold Wild and Race one, which was basically the Azure and Roy banner. And first impression was that everyone thinking that, not everyone, I shouldn't say that, it's like majority thought that Azure wasn't that good. But after further testing, found out that Azure is pretty amazing for damage wise, and that one tile conversion is actually really good. And all I remember from this event was that one boss one where we had to protect that car. If you guys remember the one I was talking about, it's that boss that drags you in and converts the tiles, but then you have like these dual blades little bosses like mini mobs going towards the car, and you have to protect the car while trying to kill that boss. And it was like, my god, That one was pretty rough though. I don't know if you guys completed it or not though, but yeah, I remember the majority of the community was complaining about that though, because it was pretty difficult for what it was. But yeah, because I don't think the boss can be poisoned, so you can like I guess cheese it out for the thing though. But yeah, all in all, it was pretty good. Event wise and stuff like that, but it's like it wasn't nothing any, I guess, memorable in that sense. And I think the next one after that was the feasting one, which was the one about was it Lenore and Gaius? Gaius? Yeah, whatever his name was. This introduced the whole entire sanity system into the thing, and it was kind of like whatever at the point though, and I believe like these two units are kind of like little hidden gems though, is they were not a lot of people like had any faith or didn't pull for them though, because it's like they're good units though. They're not like beyond great for any magic or anything though. But yeah, Geos was like it's the strongest like farmer, I guess though, because his things like his active skill resets on attack and stuff like that, and lures like doing things like as your lower HP does, the more things she gets for her chain combo and stuff like that. So that was a pretty thing. Our welfare thing was like May, but it was like, you know, no one ever uses her, so it was kind of like whatever. And I don't remember much about this event besides that sleeping dog thing. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And after this was actually where we actually hit our 1 year anniversary and stuff like that. Yeah. So I don't remember, was Cloud Gardens introduced during the 1 year, or did we have it beforehand though? I'm kind of like a blur of when we had the Cloud Gardens actually got released though, or something like that though. I thought it was released before this though, but I could be wrong. Or it was released during this time. But yeah, that's maybe just be me blabbing on about stuff. But yeah. All in all, like, we got Reinhardt as a limited bonus and Defies the Blades alter thing. Then I guess the finish up wrapping on to the part 2 of the story got released, like I think it was chapter 10, 11? Yeah, chapter 10 and 11, and they introduced the new mode, Pandora mode to the thing. So it was kind of interesting in a sense. And yeah, Reinhardt was an amazing unit, pretty much in everyone's like top 5, top 10 units, or whatever you want to call it though. But yeah, he just does like so much damage, and he's pretty much a DPS buffing unit though. So that was that in a nutshell. So if you have her, great. Then he's amazing at B3 because you can do 1 turn burst with her pretty much. Arton was a disappointment though because of the damage that he dealt. I don't know why. He has like 3,500, but he's still like, I don't know what they did with him for his auto attack, but yeah, it is what it is. And I think during the live stream they announced pretty much the Persona 5 collab, I think, at the end of the event, that everyone was pretty hype for. If you know about the meme about Persona 5 like ending gacha games pretty much, because it was like Persona 5 would come out, the game was shut down because I think it knocked out, I think it was Galia lost, and I think was it Star Ocean Amnesis was this the other one? Yeah, those are the main 2 I could think of. If you guys know more, just let me comment below. But I think that was the reason why about the whole entire thing. It's just kind of funny though, I sense. But yeah, this introduced the Persona people, I guess you could say. Initial things by like a lot of content creators, because there was like I guess a translation error or thing on Joker's skill, saying that all he does is like his action skill does a 2x damage that increases the amount of stacks by 2x. But if you actually look at his comment on his banner thing right there, you can see like I think someone forgot to do a word wrapping, because the the thing was cut off, in the sense that if you wait one turn, he does 3x depending on how many things it was, and I think that was pretty much it. Yeah. Yep. So it gave everyone like a misinterpretation, and I think a lot of people pulled on them thinking they were good, and they found out they're crap, and they're like up in arms about it. And I was like, oh well. And to me, they're still kind of like meh for what it is. The problem with it is like Joker's skill is very niche though, but they're all out attack. You know, the skill in their bottom quarter thing. That thing depends on how many units how many persona units that you have on your team. And the problem is that none of them synergize with each other because they're all freaking DPS units. And I think that's the main problem I have, is that they're all either snipers or detonators. And it's like, why didn't Toradot just make a complete team with this thing? Like converters, like TP supports, like I don't know what they were thinking with this thing. I know they put in the whole entire captain swap mechanic because it's supposed to mimic like the game itself in Persona 5, where you swap like units in and out and stuff like that to actually do damage to the boss, but it doesn't function as synergistic as it is in the game versus Alchemy Stars. So yeah, I don't care with like people saying like they're S tier, A tier, and stuff like that. To me, they're all B tier, meaning that they're decent, but they're not like a must pull in any of the sense. Though it's like good to have them. Like the only thing that the Persona character team is amazing in is Secret Territory, because you could click on that thing all out every single turn, and I have a video about that. Just me speed running through the whole entire thing with the Persona 5, because it's just like you click it, they're dead. You click it, they're dead. It's like an upgraded version of their Explore system where you don't have to actually use your Explore system. You just go in and just use it and you're done. But the only downside is that if you actually hit like one of those bombing guys where you actually have 2 turns to kill, or a shielding thing, and on the last where their HP goes after a certain thresh mark and you don't have the death sight to actually kill them within their certain things, you have to use more turns. And it's like, it is what it is. It was just like the whole entire thing was just a mess in itself. And the cherry on top of it was that the Persona 5's like it's copied the same thing as Kobayashi's Maid thing, in the sense that they didn't give them like a true story at all. It was just basically an intro and ending thing, and it was just a token thing where like the Persona 5 was just tack one of the characters, and pretty much I would like to say kill it after the thing was it's like an all-out attack if you get the big reward for it and stuff like that. I guess that was the whole entire thing. And I think before the Persona 5 banner actually hit, we actually had this event right here, which is the slow life one. So it was the 1-year anniversary. Then we had the slow life afterwards, and this one introduced it. Basically, it was a Cloud Garden event though. It was like Nina and Sade, and it was like whatever for the characters though. They're kind of like in the middle of like usable, but no one actually mains them, so I don't know, like, because I haven't had them built out yet, and that's the problem I had, is like I don't have Nina fully built out yet. So I do have her at MB3 though, because I actually pulled an extra copy, so we'll see what I think. It's just like, because the person introducing units where she throws out her thing, her umbrella, and if she doesn't have her umbrella, she turns into a sniper. But if she has her umbrella, she's a detonator. And then Sade's things was like, you send out a doll, and you can move the doll with the thing, and you run it through the things to get damage to the lips and stuff like that. So it was all like weird, in the event itself. It was like, it was Claw Garden. It was like, as you can tell, it's like I'm kind of whatever about Claw Gardens, because it's like, it was fun at the time, but I'm not a person who decorates stuff, and I found that in Cloud Gardens, the more stuff that you put in there, the slower that Cloud Gardens run. So I just have it set at 10k, and that's all I have. Like any other stuff that's extra in there, I just pull out and toss it in there and stuff like that. So I just leave it alone for what it is though. So I try to make my thing as simple as possible without having like a lot of stuff in there, if you know what I mean. And I think after that event though was the one where we actually had the Persona 5 character banner, and that was the whole entire thing though. But it was running in parallel with the with this event right here, the journey of this one right here. So the Journey at Dawn event though. This one was just a purely story one because since the Persona banner was running, we didn't have any units for this one at all. So that's what it was for that. And this introduced Fiovic, and I forgot, I think it was Shauna? No, not Shauna. I don't remember the unit, the one with the big booba octopus lady. So, and that was the other one, so that was what it was though. It was just a story event. And to me it was like a side story thing. It's about like beasts and stuff like that. So I believe the next one after that was it the summertime event? Yeah, so after this event we actually had the summertime, and that was I think the altar Karin and CL? Yeah, CL as the first banner. And this is when they actually swapped from I think a 3-week rotation to a 4-week one for their events releases. So yeah. So the units itself was pretty fun. Fire Carly, as the initial release came out though, she does a lot of damage for what she has for a kid being like a converter. So yeah, she could like, I wish that personally for her on her math breakthrough, I kind of wish she had like instead of going like a plus sign for her things, that she could go in all 8 direction like a queen. If you know what I'm talking about. If that was her max breakthrough, that would be a lot better. Personally for me though. Cell was basically our thunder unit converter from green tiles to yellow, from green to yellow tile conversion though. So that was the one element that the thunder was missing for that conversion. So we finally got that. Then part 2 of the event was where we get Gino and Fia, and I think in Rainbow was the welfare thing. And if you read about like Reddit and things and Twitter, people were kind of upset with Rainbow's design though, because of this section and the thing with her booba, pretty much though. Yeah. So if you look at it, it's kind of outplacing even her in-game model design. To me, it just looks displaced between all the other arts though, which I didn't like though, because it's like there's her model, but then there's all the other character models. It just seems out of place though. And that's the thing I had my gripe about though. I believe this is one where they introduced the little mini game with the little ramen shop and stuff like that. So that's the one about the summer life. If you're here for like the last summer one about the shaved ice one, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. So I think after this one was the, let me see here. Looking at my notes, sorry guys. Let's see here. Next, I believe it was My Fair to Wonderland, right? Yeah, my Farewell to Wonderland. Just introduced Pollux and Casta as the banner units for it though. I already said my piece about Pola and Casta. Casta, I haven't built out, so I don't know how good she is for the thing because I haven't play tested her. Because she's like a 5-star, and it's like, you know. Pollux is like the one, I think the one that everyone said was good because that Max Breakthrough 3, because of the she's supposed to be like a line like a column converter, the same things as Carleen and Hetty. But my problem was that even of course her preemptive is at Breakthrough 3 instead of 6, she doesn't do any damage for what it is because of how her kit works. Her kit is pretty much like how many cluster tiles she is away from the enemy is, and if she gets increased damage though, but her chain combo is like around her, in the sense that she needs like a yellow tile connecting from her attack, a one box around her as a fuse line to the boss. If that connection happens, then she does damage. If the boss isn't sitting under a yellow tile, or I think anywhere near, she does 0 damage to the enemy, which is like, so I have to use yellow tiles to actually get her chain combo, but I have to leave a yellow tile path in order to do damage to the enemy with her chain. Yeah, so it didn't really connect to me in the Wellnet concept and stuff. So I just pulled for one copy of her and just call her good, and because it's like, even of course she's like a B3 converter, it's kind of like, it was whatever though. So I said my piece about her, so I'll just leave it at that. And I think the event itself was kind of like a little bit more into Umbreon storyline, stuff like that. So it is what it is. It expanded the lore, and we did the little mini map thing about the towns, I guess, like doing this thing. It was kind of like the same event as the Underground Maiden event that we had earlier about the thing. So I was like, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I believe the next one was the One Cut of Screams event, though. This one was pretty interesting. So, Lilica was good if you had her at Breakthrough 3. I said my piece about her also. I kind of wish they gave her three arrays normally, though, because, and her main element was fire instead of fire water or something like that, because it's like you having her second element kind of makes sense. As she's fire water, she could set up another array with a different element though, but there are times when you don't want her to set up another array if you have one perfectly set up, if you catch my drift. And you kind of want to be within her array when she ends her chain combo, otherwise she's going to set up another array, and depending on how many tiles you move, you can set up a little one instead of a big one. If that makes sense, I kind of wish her max breakthrough was like the array will always be at maximum size no matter how many tiles she walks through. I think that would be a little bit better. So as long as you cover like the majority of the field, you can just do constantly like a good chunk of damage though. Out of the two characters on the banners, which is like Lilica and Minos, I pretty much said that Minos is the hidden gem of the banner though, because of how his kit works. And if you manage to get like all his stacks off of the thing, he enters Minotaur mode, or whatever you want to call it, or awakening mode, but I don't know. But it is, and he does more damage and pretty much blah blah blah. Yeah. And this introduced the whole entire absorption thing, and I kind of wish they reworked hero skill to say absorption too, like heroes and Pomona skills, instead of walkthrough, because if they didn't have that concept, they have to be captains in order for them to get the benefit of their passive. If they're not, then they don't. So I kind of wish they change hero skill a little bit to say absorption. You know, give her hero a little bit of a buff. Then she doesn't have to be in the captain slot anymore. But since that's there, she has to be in that captain slot. That's what it is. Then after the One Cut of Screams, I think this is one where they introduced the in-game 3.0 on it, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is where we got the in-game 3.0. Could be a little bit later than, but yeah. I don't even remember anything about 2.0, and that was apparently in the Maiden event though. But yeah, that's how much of a blur that in-game 2.0 is, where it's like in Shinji Contract, where you set up like all the debuffs and buffs to the enemies, to yourself, vice versa. And if you manage to clear, you get a certain amount of points and stuff like that. So that was all fun. And the event itself was like pretty decent for what it was. It was a lot better than 2.0, but at least I remember I remember it though. Memorize. But yeah, I remember it though. The next event, which was the Flight to Homeward Bound event though. This event was pretty much a story event. It wasn't like an actual event you could say. This event introduced Alexia, which is pretty much the best, I could say, like support unit because she actually does her role. If that makes any sense, it's like she basically like supports like her role is a support though, but you know, I'll pull her up really quickly. And I think she came out with like right of the other 5-star reunion. I didn't pull for some reason, so it is what it is. For some reason, I think it's harder to pull. Sometimes it's harder to pull a 5-star than it is to pull a 6-star. Believe it or not, though, because I think the 5-star is only on like a 25% rate up, and the 6-star is a 50%. So yeah, it is what it is. I'll probably eventually pull her off banner though, but you know, it is what it is. Lexia was good in the sense that so I kind of, after using her in Lair, I was like, oh wait, I have to use the unit's active skill at least one time before Alexia could copy it. I didn't know that until I tried it. I was like, oh, so I kind of need the other units at max breakthrough. Then if I do a max breakthrough Alexia, you actually get like a turn 1 conversion on her. So it actually makes more sense to actually have the other units at preemptive breakthrough. Yeah, that's the only thing that's about her, is that you have to use the thing one time before she can copy it, though. I didn't know that until now, so that's just a little information though. But yeah, she's only as good as like if you have the units to actually for her to actually copy. Like Reinhardt, Illidan, not Illidan, that's Erdogan, Armori, Roy, and Nadine are I think the 5 that they stated. It's funny because Erdogan wasn't listed on there, but they showed a picture of her, so I was like, wait, so she can't copy Erdogan? But they can't. So yeah, but they showed her in there, so I was like, oh okay, so she can, but it isn't listed there for some. But yeah, so you have like those main units, stuff like that. Yeah, she's a good pick up on that thing, so it helps support the actual DPS and stuff, and vice versa. And she has a basically her kits to heal on top of that, so she's a pretty much I guess it's a pickup unit though. But MB3 is kind of like a question mark because it just gives her a thing that if you don't have like preemptive on the other units, then it's kind of like a waste, you know, if you get what I'm trying to say. And if you have her at max breakthrough, she gets more stack capacity instead of like I think like 5, it goes up to like 7 or something like that. So overall, it's pretty good. And I believe, let me swap over here. Okay, so then after that we have the event that's running right now, which is the idol event. This one, yeah. And if you haven't watched it yet, though, they did release the song for the idols on their YouTube channel, so you should go check it out if you can. It's pretty good for what it is, you know. I also said my piece about the limited time banner unit, Goldie and was it Goldie and Vic? Yeah. I forgot the other unit. So Goldie is good. I'm unsure about her BD3 because I was like, just because it's random is the thing that's bothering me about it though. If you're allowed to pick, it would be a lot better. It's just because it's a preemptive and it just converts 2 random tiles, non-green tiles, into enhanced tiles, so she can actually do damage on turn 1. And if you're gonna do that, it's like you might as well just run like a different, then you know. And all this is to go into the core team of the Darkstar units, which is Goldie, Brandy, and Minos, and the other 2 units are up for grab, so whatever, run those things. That's all I can say about that. Vic is just a disappointment in itself because I understand the concept of them doing like if he runs on water tiles, he gets a ranged normal attack though. But as I tested before, I don't know if it's actually a bug or not, in the sense that damage that you dealt is counted as skill damage instead of an normal attack, which is the reason why you should get them, is so you could do range auto attacks without you being near the boss, or not the boss, or like an enemy though. But yeah, all in all, for this 1 year, there's a couple wishes that I do hope that they change probably in the coming half year, I guess, to be leading up to the actual 2nd year anniversary of the game. Was that I was thinking about it. It's like I kind of want a rework of the Secret Territory. I understand the concept of it though, but it's like it's at this point it just got an update where they did a rework on the relics though, but it's still not enough for what it is. And I just don't like doing it every week. I don't know how about you guys though, but I just don't like doing it every week just for the rewards though. But I just don't do it though. Even of course I bitch and whine about it though, I still do it. And the second thing is maybe the spiral tower itself. I don't know, maybe should add more floors or add a new tile or a new tower to it though. I don't like maybe a tower that actually has like a mixed elements in there, where we have to bring like a certain I guess elements for each floor. But instead of having it limited to each elemental color, maybe we could just bring in whatever element in there, you know? That would probably be nice as like a fifth tower. Or they can introduce a new element though, but that would be like throwing like another gallon thing, but I don't know. Like another element. I don't know how that would work, like light and dark, but then you have to get like converter teams for that. Unless they could be like walked on any tiles, like a wild card, like a chromatic unit or something like that, you know. That would be pretty interesting to have like a chromatic tile unit where just put them in there, and no matter what color that he is, he automatically just walks on the thing though. But yeah, so that's what my thing is. Like maybe we should just make a new Ronin that's like chromatic or something like that. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. With that being said, though, that would be kind of interesting if they put that as like the 5th legendary Aurorian on the thing, because right now we have 4 legendary Aurorians in the old steel, and once you complete that, you actually unlock the old was it Elysium? I think that's the mode's called though. But yeah, you can clear all those and get a bunch more star flares and stuff like that. But once you complete it though, it's like it's kind of there, I guess. As for endgame though. But there is a 5th legendary Aurorian though. I won't spoil it for you guys, but I do have it as I did defeat it as the thing. And if you're lucky enough, you'll run it through him in the Infernal Lair though. But yeah, he's the leader of the legendary Aurorians, going by the lore thing as a full snippet. But yeah, I kind of wish they put like him as the 5th legendary Aurorian that we could recruit, you know, and just have him as a chromatic unit or something like that. Which would be pretty interesting in itself, though. Yeah. That's just my thoughts, though. And I kind of want to rework also of Calamity Codex. I don't know how we will work it though, because I know that some people do enjoy it, doing like the DPS race though. To me, I just do it 4 times, and whatever score I get, I get as long as it covers all the rewards. I'm fine with just running it just that 4 times, and just even sometimes 3 times though, because I don't really care for my ranking on the thing though. I know some people do, but for me it's not. And I guess the other thing is Cloud Gardens. I'm in that boat of like caring but not caring that much, I guess you could say. Like I'm in the middle. I still do like all the stuff that they put in Cloud Gardens. And of course, I don't like anything in there. I know they've spent a lot of time like fixing it, reworking it, optimizing it, and stuff like that, but it still just falls flat. It's like the Hope Coin thing, the ones that they introduced. It's like give us a hint on which Aurorian to talk to. It just says this Aurorian is like, and the hint there says this could be attained from talking to Aurorian. It's like, okay, give me a hint of which one I need to talk to or spam in order to get it, you know. The ones that says this could be found by fishing, that's easy and straightforward. Go in there, fish. What's funny is that they do the hint thing for the fish in there. Like whenever a new fish comes out, they go like, oh, so and so has information about this fish that you wanted to catch. Go talk to him and like give him a tree plant or something, whatever it is, you know. And I don't decorate Cloud Gardens because I found out the more stuff that you put in there, the worse that it runs. It's just kind of like funny because it's like I know like people overheat their phone and stuff like that, and Mindway is kind of the same thing too. When I run it on emulator, it just chugs in there, which is kind of funny though. It doesn't chug anymore, but yeah. And I found out that if I start pulling stuff out, the less that's in there, as long as I'm hitting the at the minimum of the 10k in there, it doesn't really matter at that point anymore. And I'm not a decorator by any sense though, so it's like I can't decorate, so I just put stuff in there just to hold it out, and I decorate a little bit I can. If you ever come to my little secret, not secret garden, Cloud Garden thing, so yeah. So yeah, just a recap though. So those are all the events that came up with things. Is my impression on it and stuff like that. So all in all, it's been an okay thing. I know they swapped from a 3 weeks to a 4 weeks thing, but it is what it is. I kind of wish they did a little bit more with the events, I guess. This event itself, or like the Starry Adventure one, the Dreaming Challenge one was actually pretty decently challenging compared to the other ones, where you could just basically one-shot everything and it's like, and there was no challenge at all. So this one actually introduced a new mechanic about like mobs having lives pretty much. So when you kill one down, it actually takes up one of their tokens, so you have to keep killing them over and over again. So this kind of help blocks like the one-shot mechanics and stuff, or the bursting comps. So but you have to actually set it up 3 times. So yeah, so it's kind of positive or negative though, but it also means that they could do a lot away with like a lot of the other mechanics, like no HP percent damages, no debuffs and stuff like that. So as long as they put the lives in there, it's like, okay, you just killed the boss, now the buffs will wear off, but you have to restack them and stuff like that though. So I guess it's a interesting things. I know when the first one came out, like this one, the H4 one was bugged, so that was kind of like what it is. It was like after so many amount of turns, the game would just like for some odd reason it will just instantly bug out and crash though for some people. And so the longer the thing goes out, the more likely the thing will crash. So that's why I tell people like try to finish it as quickly as possible. So the quicker you finish it, the less chance you have to crash. Yeah, so that's what this event was in a nutshell. So if Furlough is good, just to mess around with every now and then. It's not something I want to complete per weekly, like I guess like it's the majority of the people. But all in all, yeah, just to recap, all the events and everything was like pretty decent for what it is. So some events were like more annoying than others, but it is what it is. That's just nature of gacha games and stuff with the story. So I don't expect like a top tier, like 10 out of 10 story, you know, but for what it is, it's pretty good. Like, again, the things that my wish list for, I guess, the 2nd year anniversary game is probably a rework on Secret Territory, Calamity Codex for what it is, maybe add if Legendary Aurorian, rework on the Spire Tower or something like that, or add a new one. A little bit more in-game, where the players who've been sticking to the game a little bit longer, not long enough, since like day one still, because there's pretty much nothing for me to do in the game besides just keep building out units though, but I guess that could be said about any gacha game that you've been playing for a very long time. It turns into like a side game at that point where you just come in and log in, or you did it like every event is to do the little bits and pieces, then you know, go back out and go about your day. And that's pretty much it. I like to say thank you to the guys who to the people who sticked out for these, I think about 20 minutes or something like that, about me listening to you ranting about the game for these past year, I guess, though. So I thank you for those who stick around to the end, and I wish you guys a happy New Year's and best health and wishes to all your families. And I'll catch you guys next time for this upcoming year, and I guess the event that's supposed to happen in the next week, I guess, after this one. Yeah, so they should start running the event preview for the next one coming up soon. So, yep. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.